Okay. Okay, now push in the clutch. Oh. Welcome back, and thanks for joining along. More international goodness for you. 62 C112, and for this video we're dealing with that crusty old bad ride. On these rigs you have one master cylinder that controls a hydraulic clutch, which the slave is right over there, and controls the hydraulic brakes. So you have one reservoir, two pistons, two pedals inside. Now this particular unit seems to, the brake side seemed like it was ready to go. It might work up some pressure, but on the clutch side, which on this one is the, you know, that one, it's stuck. The piston's stuck in here, there's free play, and it builds absolutely no pressure. So that means the whole thing's no good and you got to replace it. Well, the international flavor of these guys costs $130. Okay, that's, you know, we're on a budget here. We're a budget channel. Everything we do is on a budget. So we got snooping. Well, it just so happens, and a lot of you guys and gals will know this, that General Motors back in the same era of trucks had a very similar setup. One reservoir, one slave, one reservoir, one cylinder for brakes, says right on there, one cylinder for clutch. You can get these through the Rock Hard Auto for less than $50. So we ordered it. We've had this for a few months while the old C110 lived out here in the weeds. And then we decided, you know what, let's see if we can get it to run and drive. But this is one of our biggest hurdles. Go back, because we've already got it running. So you can go back and look at that video. And then also, there's probably a video already of the rebuild of the carburetor. But, so this thing's in really good shape to actually run, not in good shape to actually run and drive yet. But that's what we're here for now. So we've got a spread pattern here, and if you measure this from here to here, it's 5 inches. Same with the bottom two bolts. Well, the first issue we have with the Chevy or GM master cylinder is it's only got 3 mounting bolts. However, just so happens these two are 5 inches on center. We're halfway there. We just got to figure out a deal with this guy. Now we're outside and on the sawhorse, and we have what appears to be the same diameter bore, the same spacing for the two cylinders, and overall a very similar contraption here. However, we got to figure out how to secure the bottom of the GM one. So let's go over to our binder, and that's going to be a little bit of an issue because this sits right above the steering column, and then there's a little boot. It's gone. We got an idea for that, but there's a little boot and a ring that holds on a little flapper to keep the cold air off your toes. And you know, one of those intrudes upon the flat surface here where this bolt hole would normally be. So let's hang it on there though and see just how bad it might be. Well, so far it kind of fits like almost the glove, but we do have an issue under here with with that little bolt that holds that retainer for the gasket, weather gasket on. But other than that, we just have to eliminate a little sliver of that and eliminate that small bolt. And I think what we're going to do then is we're going to create a bar, kind of a clamping bar that'll go across here, and I'll have a nubbin that goes up in here, and then we'll get some spacers for whatever this depth is, and we're just going to clamp this across and then go ahead and use these 2 bottom bolts, and we should be just darn fine. First, let's get this gasket, weather gasket and ring off of here. We will make a new weather gasket and cut that little part of the ring that's in our way out, put that back in, and then we'll fabricate our mount for the bottom, these 2 bottom bolts. Show you a little better over here. The other measurement that is important here is this is the rod that goes into and pushes the cylinder. So we're gonna just make sure we're gonna stick that in there, mark it, and then we'll come over here to the IH one. It's exactly the same. And here is the problem with the clutch side of this cylinder. You can see both of these have come back to their stop. On the international one, the brake side has come back to its stop, and the clutch side is rusted and stuck in the applied position. So obviously bad, but look, even the machining from here to here is the same. So I'm confident this is going to work just fine. Okay, here's what we made. This is a remnant from our homemade floor mats. Go back and watch that video. I'll put it up here as well. Cheap floor mats on a budget from the greatest place on earth, Menards. And yeah, we just used an extra piece we had. Measured the shaft for the steering column. It's 2 1/8 inches. And then we'll just kind of slide that up in there like so. And I can tell you already, my holes are not gonna match up. I need to make a bigger cut. Hang on. My holes are a little off, and I'm not exactly sure why. So here, we're just gonna adapt. And, well, maybe. It's kind of hard. You guys, there we go. We're gonna get one guy started here and then see why things are askew, because the measurements were not difficult. Maybe my cutting skills were not up to par or something. And that appears to be the case. I can't, yeah, that didn't work. Try number 1 failed. Okay, attempt number 2, we're gonna go about this maybe a little bit smarter. We're gonna poke a hole where our first screw needs to go. I'm gonna go melt this hole bigger with a nail, and then we'll just go hole by hole and get them all done that way. We're going to come back in here now that we have one hole made where we know we want it to be. We'll come back in with our, oops, sorry about that, modified side piece. And get that screw started. Just gonna adjust on this a little bit, get where we're happy. Oh, I need my poker. Hang on. And then should have a hole down here. There. We'll mark that one. come over here and we'll mark that one. And then we can come down here and kind of peekaboo and mark, maybe, come on. Oh. Story of my life, huh? Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, making this little ankle warmer gasket thing here's taking a little longer than I expected it to, but we're into it now. So we got all 4 holes where we want them, I think. We need to get the bracketries up here that we have adapted. There. All right, all that for a little gasket to keep my footsies warm when I'm driving this thing. All right, looks good though. Now we can take our General Motors master cylinder and yes, now it'll bolt flush to the firewall, and we just got to make a bracketry. That's how it go. We got another change of plans, and quite frankly, you know, that's why y'all are watching these videos, is to make your life a little easier, we hope, and less expensive. So we could have spent some time making a bracketry to sandwich that bottom, you know, this nubbin in down here. But I want you to look, see through that mounting hole. Can you see? I hope you, if you can't see in there, the screw hole for the top of this bracket holding this guard and wind guard in is exactly centered in this hole for the master cylinder. So we went around to the inside and made sure there's nothing significant other than the nuts for these bolts here are welded on the back of this. So we're going to pop this back off. We're going to drill a 3/8 hole through this and put a bolt with a flat washer coming out this way, and we're just going to bolt her up. It's not going to hurt a darn thing to do it that way, and it'll save us a bunch of time trying to make some bracketries. Okay, here we go. I went ahead and bench split it, so I took a little break to do that, and we're gonna try and heft it onto this bottom bolt first. I can't see anything. If we can go like that and then get a nut on there, that would be ideal. There. There. Got that. Now we just have to finagle it up and into place. You remember when I made the little cloth gasket so your ankles don't get cold, and I said this is taking a little longer than I expected it to. Yeah, well, we're back to that basic understanding again. There we go. All right, we got our nut started. Now we can put our other top bolt in. Yeah, it's gonna sit nice and flush now. Okay. on. We should be able to, like that. 3 bolts instead of 4, but it's in there. We're back. We have our clutch slave cylinder. Our apologies, right off the bat, it's getting kind of late in the day, plus it's going to storm a little bit. So we got excited, ate supper, came right back out here. It is installed. Now this one, the international brand one, which is pretty cool because it has an IH on it, but it, if you can see, it's flush. Well, my light's in the way. Right here, it mounts to a flat piece of steel. This one, it does not mount to a flat piece of steel, but we found 2 little spacers, about 1/4 inch, that are going to work just fine. So it's installed. We bled it, and we even adjusted the free travel in the clutch. So we've got about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of free travel in the pedal. And Jalen, why don't you go ahead and push that down and let's see what we got out here. Very good. Up. All right, so everything's all bled. Life is pretty good. We probably don't need this bungee in here anymore. I can't remember what I had that holding on to. Now let's try. Okay, next test. Put it in gear. Put it in like 2nd gear. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now push in the clutch. Oh. Now let out the clutch. We got a working clutch. We've got a dang old working clutch. It's not even stuck, you guys. Okay then, we know it runs good. Let's put the hood down a notch, just in case here. Can you pump up any brake pedal, Jay?
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh, we might have a little bit of brake pedal. All right, go ahead and start it in neutral, just in case. There's that awesome little 266. And then let's just, James, I think he's going to put it in gear and give it a shot here.
Just in the granny gear for now.
Okay. Are we going to move? Are you kidding me? Since 1997 this thing has been sitting in a field, moving under its own power. What was that?
Stop.
Was that brakes?
Uh-huh.
It's got some brakes. I don't know how much brakes, but it's got some brakes. Well then,
a lot of pressure now, but it didn't have a lot to begin with.
All right. Well, we might have a little work to do on the brakes, but it's got something. That's better than zero. Let's well, here, I'm gonna slap this hood down a little better, and Jalen's gonna take it out on the road. Make sure that I don't think that'll fly up. All right, so we need to make sure, we need to make sure that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 in reverse. So
hold on.
Oh, there's backwards.
And brake again.
And brakes again. Are you kidding me?
Start it in 2nd.
Okay. This is crazy. This is awesome, but this is crazy. It stopped all by itself there. or second, or well, third gear maybe? You guys can't see him anymore, but I can hear him. He's getting on it a little bit. That might be fourth. I'm jumping in here for the outro on this one, guys and gals. Appreciate y'all watching. We've got a lot of content coming to you. We've got tractor mowing stuff. We've got more international stuff coming your way. A couple more little videos on the C112. We've got some vet stuff. We've got a brand new customer car that just showed up last week that we're hopefully going to be doing some work with, but we'll at least give you a glimpse into a very cool 1958. That's all I'm going to say right now. Look for more content in the coming days. Clicking the bell, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're like less than 100 people away from 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. We'll catch you on the next video.